According to healthresearchfunding.org, 65% of people who successfully complete a fad diet will end up gaining all of their weight back, and more than 95% of people relapse from a diet in 5 years or less. I am one of those people who struggled with yo-yo dieting and weight loss for years. However, in 2020, I made some lifestyle changes that were sustainable that led to me losing 75 pounds, and I'm continuing on that weight loss journey. So today I'm going to share with you 3 of the changes that I made that were sustainable. These changes were portion control, finding physical activity that I enjoyed, and focusing on non-scale victories. So the first thing I want to tell you about is portion control. Now, this is not restrictive eating, and actually, according to healthline.com, when you over restrict yourself or deprive yourself of the things that you enjoy, it's not a viable long-term solution because it's not sustainable, and it just leads to you binging on whatever you've restricted in the future. There is no bad food, so making the mindset change that a cupcake cupcake's not bad, so I can't have a cupcake. And then finding alternatives for food that you have a hard time resisting. So I have a sweet tooth. I love ice cream. So one of the things that I have found is the Breyer Carb Smart ice cream bars. On my weight loss journey, I had ice cream almost every night. It's just I found an alternative to when I was having Ben & Jerry's, which those tend to have over 1,000 calories per pint. So this has 140 calories per bar, so it's much more sustainable. I also love pop and carbonated drinks, so I've switched to A&W Zero, which has 0 calories. And then I do love me a good iced coffee from Starbucks, but instead, I now tend to do a caramel premier protein shake with some espresso. And so it's called Profi on Instagram, but it's protein coffee, so that's what I tend to have now. Now, while portion control is a big part of weight loss, along with that comes the physical aspect, which leads me to my next point. So it is typically recommended to get 150 minutes of physical activity per week. However, any physical activity is better than none. This does not have to be high impact, so it doesn't mean you have to go to a high intensity interval training or doing massive cardio. This could just be doing your typical household chores, going for a walk. A big thing I started was I just started going for daily walks, and I had a low step goal that I was aiming for, and as I hit that, I would then increase my step goal. I did also incorporate weight training, so I do weightlifting. From what I've read or seen, typically like 2 days of strength training is recommended if you can fit it in, but again, whatever is attainable to you. A benefit to physical activity is that it can improve mental health. So I'm someone who struggles with anxiety. So according to an article written by Dr. Paul Reed for health.gov, physical activity can actually help to decrease symptoms of anxiety and depression. And I personally have found that I'm having a really tough day, just going for a walk or doing something to kind of burn off that energy, it does help me be in a better space mentally. And finally, one of the biggest changes was that instead of focusing on the number of the scale, I started focusing on non-scale victories. So if you've never heard of a non-scale victory, this is something in your life that is proving to you that you are seeing changes. It has nothing to do with the number on the scale. This could be how your clothes are fitting. It could be taking measurements of your body. It could be your health. So for me, one of the first changes I saw is I had been diagnosed with early stage fatty liver disease. And it's just from eating a not healthy diet of a lot of fat. And so I started focusing on lower fat foods, and my blood work got back to normal. I no longer have any type of fatty liver disease. So that was a big change for me. Some other things could be, is physical activity easier for you? Are you able to walk farther? Are you able to play with your kids? Are you able to, do more housework at once before sitting down and taking a break? So those are non-scale victories, and focusing on those can really help during those weeks where you're not seeing the number move on the scale. If you focus on non-scale victories, it does help you realize that you're still making improvements. So, as I said today, focusing on portion control Physical activity and non-scale victories can help the process feel attainable and realistic. If the idea of making healthy lifestyle changes feels overwhelming to you, I encourage you to try implementing these small changes, and I guarantee you won't regret it.